don't know now, you know. It's your boy RC, and welcome to another edition of the Pro Show Podcast with me, your boy RC. Today I have a special guest, friend of mine. We go back a few years, James Cooper. Good brother, how you been?
I'm well, man. I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
Thanks for having me. Seriously.
I've been running into you around the city. I've been hearing what you've been doing. I done seen some of the stuff you've been doing, and I was like, I got to get you on the show.
That's love.
And
That's
so,
love. No doubt.
and it's like, the funny part is, I still think about when we was in community.
Yeah.
I remember in the murals.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the intramural game when the boy, what was his name? Sven. And Sven was a football player.
Yeah.
But he just knew he was an all around athlete,
that,
and he gonna beat the floor and clap his hands and walk up to you, and I'm like, Coop gonna kill this dude. And sure enough, you crossed this man over and made him fall like somebody tied his shoes together.
Hey, yo, you just brought me back with that one.
Yo, I've never forgot that. Never. Every time I watch something, I see somebody fall, and it's like, I've seen that in person. And I'm not talking about you watching a game live or anything. I'm talking, I saw it in person, and I'm like, that nigga's on my team. Oh, God. And I laugh about that from, like, now I got a daughter that plays ball, and she's been pushed towards being a guard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, man, if you knew some of the things you are capable of with that ball as a guard, and that plays in my head, and it's like, ooh, like even when I watch like some of the WNBA games, like the men got handles, but some of the women in the WNBA, oh my God,
Yeah, they get busy.
they get real busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what you been up to? Let tell the folks what you been up to.
So Rare Souls. Rare Souls has been a focus, man. It's a brand. It's
Okay.
a lifestyle brand.
Okay.
It's really more so like a wealthy mindset, a wealthy state of mind. So
All right.
I mean that in from a mentally, spiritually, economically, physically, like every aspect. So
All right.
we offer these different elements to it. So right now at the forefront is like clothing,
Okay.
like fashion, music, film,
Okay.
you know, and it's
I didn't know about film.
Yeah, so actually this hat I got on called like it's a film called Like Blood
Okay.
that I executive produced.
All right.
Yeah, so it was shot out like at San Fran, LA. Yeah, so
Okay.
we just bringing these creatives together and just
Oh, that sounds
just like
amazing.
really being, you know what I'm saying, just being true to what we love and finding a way to be true to what we love in the best possible way. You know what I'm saying?
So how did you get started with the Rare Souls? Like what
Man,
was it a late night you couldn't sleep and it just like it popped in your head and you just got up like you was writing a rhyme in a rhyme book, or was it just it hit you one day walking down the street and it was just like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do?
it was an overtime thing, man. It's like basically the name stemmed from me like just reading a lot, reading. I listen to how words hit me.
Okay.
So I remember reading something. I think it was actually Ancient Future, a book called Ancient Future. I was reading something.
Okay.
And, words just trigger.
Yeah.
And I felt something at the time. I didn't know what I was going to use it for, but I felt something. I said, "Rare Souls. That's hard. I need to write that down, and I'm gonna do that for something." But at the time, I was already working with an artist, a music artist.
All right.
And I had a vision for certain things I wanted to do, like just basically just add light and be like community based and just add on to the community, add on to the culture in the best possible way. So I already knew I wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? So as I start thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm involved in this music, the film stuff going. I always wanted to do fashion.
Okay.
So I'm like, Rare Souls. I'm like, Rare Souls got to be that has to be the foundation to it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So fashion, music, film. If you had to choose one that would be, I guess, your favorite, or would you set your hat on? Which one would it be? Like,
Man, that's
what started it and what stemmed from what? Or did it all come together at one time? Like, you were sitting there and you had all ideas and you was like, I want to go this way with fashion. I want to go this way with the music. Then I want to go this way with the film.
Well, it actually came together organically. So,
Okay.
like I said, at the time I was already involved in music, working with like really a couple artists. So a couple of my guys I grew up with, they
Mm-hmm.
come from like I said, just us creating together and just building together and working as a unit. So me working with my guys with music,
Okay.
me working with my guy that's doing the film. So that kind of came a little bit after, but music was kind of started first,
All right.
and then working with that, and that came before the name. You know what I'm saying? But so that was already in motion, and then uh, a little while after, like I said, the clothing we had already planned. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put the clothing out
Okay.
sometime soon, maybe like a year later. So the clothing came, but the clothing is actually like the forefront right now.
All right.
You know, so it just happened organically. In
All
a
right.
nutshell,
Hey,
you know?
sometimes that's how
Yeah,
things happen.
for sure,
Like me ending up here.
for sure.
Someone reached out to me and they were like, You sound like you should get down to Rec Philly, down here in the Fashion District, what used to be the gallery. All my old heads know it as the gallery.
For sure.
Y'all young bucks, this is the Fashion District for y'all.
I still call it the gallery.
Yeah, I still call it the gallery.
Yeah.
I have to remember and call it the Fashion District if I'm
sure.
talking to someone that isn't aware of what it used to be.
For sure.
Like I remember days walking around down here for a couple of hours, shooting my shot.
That was a regular thing.
And then I had a homie. We was like, yo, you might as well slide on over to South Street.
Right.
And it wasn't nothing to hop in a wheel or hop the bus.
Right.
Shoot, on a nice day, you could walk over. You might shoot your shot a couple times on your way over.
For sure.
And then you spend another hour or two down there on South Street, get a bite to eat, shoot a couple more shots, and like things happen that way.
Yeah.
But that's how someone reached out through Instagram. They saw a post I did, and they inboxed me and saying, you might want to come down to the Rec Philly and check us out. So at first I was looking, I'm like, who's this? Like, this, I'm skeptical. I'm always skeptical because of how much is going on out there. And then when I said like the Fashion District, what in the world is the Fashion District?
Right.
So I called the person back and was like, what is the fashion? They're like, oh, it was the old gallery. I said, well, why don't you just say that?
Right.
It's like, yo, I'm not one of these young bucks. I got gray in my beard, bro. Right. So it's like, so it's like I come down, I do the tour, and it's like almost stepping through the doors, I felt my mind explode as far as the different venues, like the podcast studio. They had space big enough for a TV studio, like to do a live show. They had space here for, I think they could do a live band. They have a setup for a live setup here. They have a dance studio, art studio. I came down here. I did a painting one night. Something that was in my head. It stuck there. I said, I got to get this out of my head. And I did it. And I came down here. They had all the stuff that I needed. I put it together, did it.
For sure.
So it's like, coming down, it's like you said, it's organic. So I can see where you're coming from, where how it came together. Like it came together for me to be down here. So I got down here, and the first thing I thought of, I got to start reaching out to people that I think could, one, benefit from this, and two, that since I want to do a show and introduce people to things they might not know is going on right here in the city that you live in.
That's real. And this is major. This is major for the city. Like this.
Yes, this is something I think that's been needed, and it speaks to a lot of artists.
For sure.
I at the time didn't consider what I was trying to do or what I was working my way to as an art form, but if you listen to how they talk about it here, it's an art form. There's I think 3 music studios here for people to come record. Sure. So if you're a rapper, a singer, whatever, you could come here and I was just like, this is in Philly?
Yeah.
And when it hit me, I was like, this is really in Philly. And hell, the day I came down for the actual walkthrough, the tour, a young lady who was I don't want to call her a party promoter because that's not what she was. She was an event planner. And I got her card, and I told her, like, once I'm up and running, I'll reach out to you if you want to promote your business. Once I get up and running, you're more than welcome to. And it's like, then that reaches out, touches the New Orleans. People that I had don't know about you and vice versa.
Right.
And so I love this place
No,
personally.
that's love. That's
And
love.
it's
Man.
like,
Same here.
so like I said, and I in my mind I said I just ran down a list of people that I need to reach out to, and then I remember running into you. I said, yo, I got to get Coop on the
For
show.
sure. That's love, man.
I said
That's
I
love.
got to get Coop on the show. And the crazy part is one day I was sitting online, and it might have been maybe 2 days before I reached out to you, and I saw a post you put up, and it was your brand, it was the Rare Souls, and I was just looking, I was like, that's dope. I was like, that's really dope. And I'm like, how many people know about this? And then how many people don't know about this that need to know about this? I said, I want to help people know more about this.
For sure, that's love. That's love, no doubt.
Yeah, like, man, like I said, we go back, man.
For sure, already.
I had my days, like I said, that moment I talked about in the beginning, I will never forget that. I hope I never forget
That's
that.
hilarious.
Like,
That's
hilarious wasn't the word, dude. Like, I guess it stuck out for me mostly because when I grew up, I was always a tall kid, never really picked up a basketball. I didn't play organized basketball to the year I met you.
I remember you telling. I remember you saying.
And a lot of people looking at me like, yeah, all right, whatever. They didn't believe me. Like, no, I didn't play organized basketball till
That's crazy.
I got to college.
That's crazy.
And so that's one of the things that sticks out about that. Like, I remember the intramural team we put together. The guy Chip that came from, I think he was from Philly. Wasn't he from Philly? But he played in Gloucester. He played at.
Chip from North. Chip from York Street. Chip from like.
So
York,
so it's like. Yeah. I remember what was the old head on the team? I think that was his nickname, old head.
Kendall.
Kendall
from the Ville,
yeah. So it's like I remember a lot of that, and then like other cats that we played with at community. I still see a few of them every now and then, but it's like a lot of them I see that are still doing stuff either with basketball or they've gone in a different direction. I'm glad to see a lot of them are doing something positive,
right?
From being like some of us as parents now, some of us, or if they were a parent, I didn't know at the time, and it's like to see that moment, just to see how we all changed over the years.
For sure. Now, I feel like we that bridge now. Like I feel like the era we come from and the time we come from, we really that bridge. Like our connection to the elders and our connection to the youth and our, you know what I'm saying? Us going through.
Yeah, because it's like sometimes I hear they're a little younger than me, but they not old heads, and I just hear them talk about, and I hear them use the term young boy. Right. Or I've walked up, I've gone into a store and a young guy almost backed into me. He's like, "Oh my bad, old head, I ain't see you there."
Right.
And like the first time that happened, like old head, I turned around like, "Who you calling old head?"
Yeah.
And it's like, but yo, it's for our culture. It's somewhat a term of respect.
For sure.
And because it could have just as around like, damn boy, you in the goddamn way. Right. It's like, but it wasn't that.
Right, no doubt.
So it's like, all right, I think I'm gonna take my platform and reach out to anybody, not just other old heads or my age range. I've had my little cousin on the show. He's an artist. I had him do a freestyle, and I did his show the night of Biggie's anniversary. Tore it down. And I was like, I was happy from a standpoint of this my little cousin. He an adult now. And then I was also from a standpoint of this dude is dope. Like if I was to be walking down the street and heard this, I literally would have to ask, who bull? And it's like, this platform is another way to reach out. And I said, damn. It's just amazing.
That's heavy, yeah. That's love. I gotta check that out too. I didn't get a chance to check that out.
Oh yeah, what I'll do is I'm gonna try to create a separate page for my current Instagram for just stuff for the show. So this episode will be on there. That one, the other one I did an interview with a guy I used to work with. He was working on the film at the time before the whole COVID situation happened. Gotcha. So he asked me to be a part of it, a few other people, and it was just like, as we were getting together to have an actual talk about script and all of that, the whole COVID situation happened. And so that was one of the things that kind of put a damper on a lot of this, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, and then something that's so small as Zoom became so popular.
Yeah, Zoom big.
Yeah,
Zoom big.
like I met a lady the night I did one show, and she asked me to come on her show, and I met her right here in this studio, and I ended up reaching out to her through Zoom, and just a conversation with her for her interview, and then a conversation after the interview. She's what I call a kind soul, like one of those people like you. Her energy, if you just talking to her, if you going through something, just talking to her make you feel better.
So,
and I was like, I like being around people like that. I hope I put that type of energy off.
For sure.
Cause me, you know me, I'm silly. I like to make people laugh.
Sure.
I was always cracking jokes or some other stuff.
For sure, man.
But so
the human's life, man.
Yeah, it's like, sure. I mean, I know we cry sometimes, but sometimes you gotta laugh also.
Indeed. Yeah, man. But yeah, so. Yeah, man. So yeah, mindset, man. Mindset. Okay. Yeah.
I need that shirt, bro.
I got something for you.
You got something?
I'm gonna show you something. Yeah. I got something right in the bag for you. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I brought a couple of things.
All right, so we got to talk about it because of our background.
Yeah.
How you feeling about basketball?
NBA in general.
Yeah, NBA in general.
It's definitely a different time, man. I haven't been in tune as much. You know, I've been catching highlights recently and stuff like that. But NBA, this whole year has been like you said with the COVID, with this whole it shifted the energy.
It tripped me out a little bit. Like I spoke on it on another show. You know, normally we be getting ready to have the beginning of a season right now, and we're just getting to the game 5 is tomorrow?
5, yeah, game 5.
And I'm like, damn, this came through and shut everything down.
Yeah.
Baseball, football, basketball, everything.
Yeah, it's different, man. It's different. Like, I don't know, man. It's just different.
Like, it's been a lot of guys. Like, I sat down and been watching games because of the kids and watching. Let's see, the Lakers. I actually watched the majority of a full game the other night, which was Game 4 for Lakers Heat.
Okay. Because Lakers won Game 4, right? Okay.
And just watching it, it made me bring up a topic I had mentioned before. Sixers should have kept Jimmy Butler. I would have thrown some more money at him. Hell, throw the key to the city at this dude. Like,
Butler tough.
The energy.
Butler tough.
The energy he brings to a team is just amazing. And like they did a thing of the teams he's been in.
I saw that.
And they showed where they were before him.
I saw that.
And where they ended up with him there. Every team has been better.
They went up. Yeah.
I'm talking went from not mentioned to almost making the playoffs. Not mentioned to making a playoff run.
Yeah.
Almost falling off to now you're in the NBA finals. And you contending with a super team.
Right.
Because you can't, I'm sorry, I don't like the term super team, but if you got Dwight, Davis, and JaVale McGee, 3 centers that were high draft prospects as far as people wanted to build teams around those one player.
Right.
And now you got all 3 of them on one team.
Right.
You got Bron there, Rondo. And it's like, wow. And then I can't think of this kid's name, but he's supposed to be a big deal.
Who? Kuzma? Who? Young boy? Who?
Kuzma, and it's another guy. Damn, I can't think of his name.
They loaded though.
Yeah, they loaded.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but a couple years ago, having a super team was such a bad thing.
Right.
Like it started with the murmurs when you had Garnett, Pierce, Ray Allen together, and then they put pieces around them.
Right.
It wasn't as bad, but then it was supposed to be a big deal when Golden State did it.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the argument of KD's, I guess, the question of his loyalty to his team because he went and signed with them.
Right.
And I had a conversation, matter of fact, Mel, Beef.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him had a few exchange of words on Facebook because he compared it to me, you, and two homies go drive up to the court to run ball, and we get there. You go run with somebody else when we get there. No, dog, this not even in the same category. And I know Mel watching, so that's why I brought this up. Yeah. This not even in the same category, because at the end of that game, say you driving and you do that, we waiting on you. That's the worst of it. Yeah. In the NBA situation, we talking $1 million paycheck. We talking Hall of Fame status. Mm-hmm. You can't compare the two together. I understood where he was coming from, and I got it, but you can't compare the two. Mm-hmm. And plus, these dudes, I'm sorry, they don't play no defense. I had to say it.
It's different, man.
Like, my folk made a statement that he feels that his five that they won the championship with could take on anybody five because they play defense. And I agree. So I was like, with that in the back of my mind, I watch basketball differently now.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't been.
And that's what it was. It's like I couldn't watch games the same probably after that KD's chip with Golden State. Because I was looking at different aspects of, you contribute 20 points, 30 points. What about on the defensive side? How many guys can you say are legitimate both-way players as far as they're a defensive stopper and an offensive problem?
Right.
And so I was thinking about it, and I'm like, it's not too many.
Definitely not.
Like, and what kind of drew more attention to it was what was that the documentary that came out about Mike this year?
Oh, The Last Dance. Yeah.
Scotty was one of those players where he was a defensive.
That's my guy.
Problem. Yeah. Not just a defensive, but he was a defensive problem because of how he used to go at the game.
Right.
And then Scotty could still drop 20 on you like it was nothing.
Right.
And then you still had to worry, like, you couldn't not worry about Mike.
Right.
But then Scotty was a problem. And then this the way the teams were put together. Because it's been a couple of games I watched, man. The fouls they call in, and we gonna talk. I don't even want to talk about how Bulls travel. I'm not even gonna talk about that. You know what player I'm talking about too. I don't want. I'm not even gonna bring that up, but I'm gonna just leave it at that.
It's different, man. It's different. Like it's crazy that became normalized, man. Like
yes,
3-4 steps and stuff like that. That's normalized.
But then, how do they call travel now? I watched it. Matter of fact, in the LA game, they called travel on the Kid Hero, and I'm like, that move looked familiar.
I saw that.
I said, that move looked familiar. It's a guy that do the same thing. Guy with a beard, real big beard. He do the same thing. He do that a lot.
Guy with a beard.
That guy with the beard. You know what I'm talking about. The guy with the beard.
No, Hero tough though.
Yeah.
Hero tough.
They said he the youngest. Was it the youngest player to play in the NBA Finals?
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, he tough.
Yeah,
I ain't been sitting watching enough, but I seen enough
to see a couple of the plays. It's like, this young bull kind of nice. Yeah. But it's like, I mean, it's the way the game is going. It's like, I want to get back into basketball.
Yeah.
And then I kind of keep my ear to it because of having a kid that wants to play basketball, that wants to be a basketball player. Coaches that she's played for have already said she has potential for this and that. So it's like, all right, got to feed that monster.
No, definitely.
So I got to pay attention to other stuff. I don't know much about being a guard. I just know the game in general.
Right.
So it's like, I'll read a couple drills for her to run, things I tell her to work on. And it's like, I got to get back to that. Kind of got away from it. And like, with the whole COVID situation, we kind of started easing off of going to the court, shooting around, and so it's like, but got to keep my ear to that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. What grade she in?
She is in the 7th grade.
Oh, all right, definitely.
And the coach that was their temporary coach, had already made a comment about he thinks by the time it's time for her to go to high school, she can be a problem. His words.
Gotcha.
Like, I look at it and I see her, I'm like, all right, she's doing all right. He sees something that says, she had the potential to be a real problem on the court. And like one of the things he mentioned to me was just work on her aggressiveness, like how her turning it off and on. So,
that's love.
Yeah, that's love. I appreciated him saying that. Like he didn't have to say that. I happened to see him in passing, and just I recognized him. Like, hey, you used to coach. I was like, thank you for stepping in because whoever the coach was before that was like not doing nothing, and so he stepped in, and so it was like to hear that from an outside source, and just like he could have just gave me the hey, how's it going? Oh yeah, I remember you, and kept going with his business. The fact that he said something, and then he even found us working out one day, came over, said something to us. So I was like, appreciated that.
No doubt.
So one more time before we get out of here, let the people know about your brand.
Yeah, so Rare Souls, man. Rare Souls is the brand name. Instagram is Rare Souls _. But overall, like I said, it's about a mindset. It's about a wealthy mindset and just being true to self, like to the best of your ability, and inspiring each other. To like I said, we got a bunch of creatives that just inspire each other to be great and to be true, and just uplift. You know what I'm saying? Just add light.
I like that.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming through.
Listen, man, thanks for having me.
Hey,
seriously,
like you helping me, man.
Already,
you helping me, and I figure I'm helping you. So
it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. But we're gonna bring this one to a close. This has been the Pro Show. I want to thank my guest, James Cooper, and it's your boy RC, and I'm out of here.